This is what chickens do in the sunshine. They like to stretch out. They look injured, but they are just, of course, that one's pecking the other one. They just like to stretch out. My favorite one is the one over there on the rocks that is totally lounging.
I feel like this one here is gonna lay an egg.
No, just enjoying the heat.
Okay.
Hi there. Welcome to day 12 of the COVID pandemic. We are here once again at BrightView Farms. You just saw our chickens, I think. And now you're going to take a look at one of the other things that we've been doing here to try to slow down the monotony. On the first day, I think that we were home from school, we decided to tap some of the maple trees. We usually tap quite a few and make hundreds of liters of syrup, but our sugar shack is not prepared right now. So we're doing a really small scale, very inefficient method of boiling using propane turkey cooker, but we're still making our own food and having some fun with it. And we've got lots of propane, so I guess it's not the end of the world. Let's go take a look at what we've got here on the trees.
So my most favorite part about the maple syrup is actually when you listen. You can actually hear it dripping into the bucket. And there it is, my favorite part. So the sap is running today because it was cold last night. You need cold temperatures at night, anything below 0. Probably about -5 would be the best. Starts up, so all the sap is up top, it goes back down into the roots, and then as it starts to warm up during the day, the sap gets pulled up and then it gets caught here by the spile. You need 2 things, well really one main thing for it to come, and that's for this beautiful day that we have is the sun. Temperature always helps out. Anything above 5 degrees is good. And one thing that nobody really thinks about is wind. If it's really windy, the trees notice. And they actually...
Wind chill.
The wind chill, that's what it's called. The trees notice, and they don't produce any sap when it has a high wind chill. Maybe even if it's 6 degrees out, but if it's a wind chill of 1, we found that it doesn't, the sap doesn't run. So yeah, I'm gonna check them out.
All right, let's go inside and see our operation.
All right, let's go.
All right.
All right, let's go check it out. Oh, lots of steam. And we've got a good boil. That's great. So once again, we've been just using a big turkey stock pot, as well as one of those deep fried turkey cookers. And as you can see, we've got our buckets that we've been collecting all the sap in, and we just pour it in here, and we are in our garage.
Yes, so normally we would do this out in the sugar shack and the steam would be able to escape and go outside. But in here we're finding that the steam was condensing on the plastic that's up on the ceiling, and it was getting really wet in here. So we have to have the door open, which is good. We would do this outside, but we also have this flock of free-range chickens that's all over the place all the time, and I just don't want them to get hurt. So we put up some snow fencing across the garage door, and that's keeping them out. They are rather curious about what we're doing. But anyway, so far we've only finished 2 liters of syrup. We were really close one night. We were watching one of the Marvel movies downstairs when all of a sudden we said, "Oh my God, the syrup!" And we came running out, and it had boiled over and had made a mess all over the place. And I think we lost about 3 or 4 liters. So we were a little angry, a little upset, and gave up for a few days. But we're back at it again. We're just trying to make 2 or 3 more liters, which will give us 5 liters, which should be enough for to get us through until the fall or the winter. And it's pretty delicious stuff.
And it smells so good.
It does smell so good when you walk outside. I've turned it down right now just so that we can hear. But when it's boiling in here, the second you walk outside, everyone says the same thing. Oh my gosh, it's maple syrup. So we're just going to take a look at one more thing outside, and let's take a walk out there, Laura.
All right, let's go.
So this is another little project that we started a couple of days ago. I'll let Laura tell you all about it.
So we've been thinking about ways that we could, start a garden a little bit earlier, and one of them was creating just a small greenhouse out of the raised beds that we had last summer. And these are materials that we used at home, that we had at home to put something like this together, and it's a pretty efficient way to heat up that soil because we're hoping to grow some vegetables that grow well in cool temperatures, one of them being kale. Jeremy, how do you feel about kale?
I don't like kale. I don't like kale at all, but I could learn to like it if we can grow it. The one that I do like is spinach, and spinach is a very hardy plant. It can handle some freezing temperatures. So if it gets cold at night, it'll be a problem. It won't be a problem. But what we need it to do is to germinate, and so to get it to germinate, we need the soil temperature up. I can't remember what Nidong French told us. How many degrees? Up around 15 degrees is my guess. And so we've already got that today. The soil temperature was at 17. As soon as the sun hit it, it just warmed right up. So we're planting some spinach in there later on today, and hopefully we grow some spinach. It does open. The way that we've made it is to open. We're not going to open it right now, though, because we want to keep that heat in. The tape on the sides will come off the lower half, and hopefully, like I say, we can get a little bit of a crop in there. So,
and it was pretty simple to make. We just used stuff that we had around the house. We have a 2x2, I guess 2x2 board to help have the weight so that the plastic hangs over. This is 6 mil poly that we had around the house when we were doing some construction, as well as we had some water piping, some hoops that we've used to help keep the height up. And it's quite warm. You can see that right here. It's all condensed, all the water inside. And Jeremy was saying that there's a couple of his buddies were saying another way you can make it is with broken hula hoops. So if you have a lot of kids like we do and you have hula hoops that could be broken, instead of throwing them out, you can always reuse them and use them to make for the hoops on your miniature greenhouse.
And you could do it over a smaller box too. This one's over a 4 foot by 8 foot box. We have another box over there that's only 4 foot by 4 foot that you could easily cover with 2 hula hoops. 3 hula hoops would be great. And you could make a nice little mini sort of a greenhouse, cold frame, tunnel effect. And so, yeah, just do some gardening at home. So we'll put some spinach in there, and we'll tell you how it turns out, and keep you updated. Hopefully we grow some food.
It'll be great.
Yeah, we'll see.
The chickens will love it.
Yeah, the chickens. So the chickens, just so you can see an update, they follow us everywhere we go. They spend a lot of time rooting around. So the other thing this greenhouse is going to do is it's going to keep the chickens out of this little garden, because they are a pain in the butt when it comes to gardening. So, but they're making us some delicious eggs.